So today I've got some very exciting news. After being with Keller Williams Realty for the past 5 years, I have now made the transition into a newer next-gen brokerage, and that brokerage is Real. And I really do think that next-gen accurately describes Real's business model, especially when you compare it to these other old-school brokerages such as Keller Williams, RE/MAX, Century 21, which were really big hits in the 1980s and 90s, but fundamentally have not changed their way of operating and their business models since the advent of the internet. In contrast, Real is a technology-driven, cloud-based brokerage that is partially owned by the real estate agents in the brokerage. And this is a huge departure from the traditional old-school brokerage business model, and it offers huge advantages to myself and my clients. So today I want to go over the exact reasons why I made the decision to transition my business from this old school brokerage model to a next gen brokerage model, and go over the advantages that myself, my team, and my clients receive from me being at this new brokerage. And if you stay tuned until the end of the video, I've got a very special offer for you if you want to learn more about this next gen brokerage. So first, let's talk about what I mean by next gen. So obviously the advent of the internet has changed our society and the business models within our society tremendously. If you look at movie rentals, for example, you have old school business models like Blockbuster that have been replaced by new school next gen business models like Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus, which are far more convenient for the consumer. You have old school brick and mortar retail stores that have been replaced with more convenient options for the consumer in the form of Amazon and Wayfair and Etsy. The music industry has gone from selling us physical copies of CDs in retail stores that probably only had 1 or 2 songs on them that we liked anyway, to now we can stream any song that we want, anywhere we want it, at any time. So virtually every single industry in our society is producing better consumer experiences by embracing technology and fundamentally changing their business models around that technology. Every industry except for one, and that is the real estate brokerage model, which fundamentally has not changed since the 1980s. Like literally when Alf and Knight Rider was on TV. Now I will say that our industry has begrudgingly adopted some technology, right? The average agent has a cell phone and has a website, and they think that they're pretty tech savvy because they have those things. But that underlying business model between the brokerage and their relationship to the agent has not fundamentally changed until now. So let's take a step back for a second and just compare the old school brokerage model that most brokerages that you can name probably embrace, so Keller Williams, RE/MAX, Century 21, and compare that to the business model that next generation brokerages embrace, like Real. So with the old school traditional brokerage model, essentially somebody gets their broker's license and then they rent out a large office space and they charge real estate agents like myself to join underneath of them. And in exchange, they give us training, we get access to the office space and the conference rooms. They usually throw holiday parties and give us a birthday card once a year, and they make dubious claims about how us being associated with them is going to increase our credibility and lead to us getting more clients. And this fundamental model has not changed since the 1980s. So I've been part of 2 different Keller Williams brokerages in the last 5 years, and I've paid up to $28,000 a year for the privilege to be part of one of these brokerages, and up to $500 a month or $6,000 a year for my own office within these brokerages. So that's $34,000 a year. And eventually I had to ask myself, like, is the value that I'm getting from these brokerages worth $34,000 a year? And the answer to that is a hard no. Like, nope, not even close, no freaking way. So let's break down what is the value proposition that they claim that they have that they think is worth so much money. So a big one is that they claim they're gonna give you free training on how to be a successful real estate agent, how to write contracts, how not to get into legal trouble. And I'm sure back in the 1980s, watching a slideshow in a conference room was the only real source of training that a lot of real estate agents got. But today, there's literally more free training on YouTube for real estate agents than I could consume in an entire lifetime. And much of that training is of much higher quality than I ever did receive at any of my brokerages. So that value proposition that the brokerage is making about giving us free training really does not have much value in my books. So another value proposition that they claim is that we have access to their office space and conference rooms where we can meet our clients. But if 2020 has taught us anything, is that we don't need to physically meet people in person anymore. I've gone an entire year now without meeting a single client at my brokerage, and my business is doing just fine and my clients are perfectly happy. We've all adapted now, and now I just do 1 to 2 video calls with my clients a week, and many of them find it much more convenient than actually driving to my brokerage to meet me. And as an agent, everything I do these days is digital anyway, from writing contracts to our listings to communicating with our clients. All I need is a laptop and my cell phone, and I can literally work anywhere. So once again, that value proposition of having conference rooms in a physical office just doesn't have much value to me. So let's take a look at their last big claim of value, and that is being associated with one of these big national brands, Keller Williams Realty, RE/MAX, Century 21. And I have to ask myself, does this actually add any value or any credibility to myself or my brand? And the answer is no, I really don't think so. In 2021, that little logo in the corner of my business card has practically no impact on my clients whatsoever. When you're trying to pick out a real estate agent to work with, I think some of the most important qualities that you want to look for is how hardworking are they? How good are their communication skills? And how knowledgeable are they? What the brand or logo is in the corner of the business card really is not that relevant at all. And as a quick side note, I've always hated introducing myself as Malcolm Lawson with Keller Williams. It's just too many names, it's kind of confusing, and I've literally had people ask me who is Keller Williams, not understanding that it's not a person, it's actually a business. So I am not upset about losing that at all, and I think saying, hey, I'm Malcolm Lawson with REAL sounds much better. So next, let's take a look at what a next-gen brokerage model like REAL actually looks like. So probably my favorite part of the REAL Brokerage business model is that I can be a part owner of the business as well by owning stock in the company. And this is a huge departure from the Keller Williams business model, which is not a publicly traded company and is owned entirely by Gary Keller, who is a billionaire. And I love the idea of being part owner in a business that I am promoting and marketing through my videos, through my listings, and through my clients. And REAL actually wants us to be owners in the business as well. There's several different ways that I can earn free stock in my company from REAL by hitting certain milestones in my own business. And this makes me super excited to be a successful real estate agent and promote the company that I am part owner in. And REAL is also a very technology-driven company and integrates a lot of the latest technology into their business and helps us agents integrate a lot of this technology into our business as well. Now, truthfully, a lot of these advantages are in the back end. So how I write my contracts, how I get my clients to digitally sign those contracts, how I submit my contracts to my brokerage to review them. But being somebody who's pretty tech savvy, I love seeing a company fully embrace technology and the advantages that come along with that technology. And once again, this is leading to me providing a better experience to my own clients, which is pretty nice. Now, REAL is a cloud-based brokerage, and this means that they don't have that overhead cost of having multiple brick and mortar offices all over the country, and they pass that savings onto us agents. So instead of me spending $34,000 a year to have an office within my brokerage, with REAL, I only need to spend $12,000 a year to be part of this brokerage. That's a savings of $22,000 a year, which is huge, and that allows me to reinvest that money back into my business. So I can invest that money back into better marketing for my listings. I can invest that money into an assistant so provide better experiences to my clients. I can invest that money into better and more exclusive training for myself so I become more knowledgeable for my clients. My business and my clients' experiences benefit tremendously by me reducing this huge overhead cost of being with a traditional old school brokerage. And I think that reducing this huge overhead cost also makes REAL a much more approachable brokerage for somebody who's just getting into the industry or maybe getting their real estate license as a second job. So here's that special offer I mentioned at the beginning of the video. If you are a real estate agent or you're thinking about getting your real estate license, I'd love to hop on a video call with you and talk to you about some of the benefits of partnering with REAL, or answer some of your questions about being a real estate agent or just mastermind in general. I can also go over some detail that I kind of glossed over in this video, like the 4 different ways that you can earn free stock in the REAL brokerage by being a real agent and how you can benefit from revenue share. So if you want to have a conversation or you have any questions whatsoever about this brokerage, send me an email at malcolm@livinginmaryland.com. I also have a link down below where you can learn much more about the benefits of joining REAL and goes over a lot more of the numbers I kind of glossed over in this video. If you want to watch more videos about the benefits of joining REAL, check out this playlist I put together right here. And don't forget to email me at malcolm@livinginmaryland.com if you want to set up a video call with me. We're going to talk about the benefits to your business from joining REAL, or how to get your real estate license, or really mastermind about whatever you like. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you.